Hi, my name is Clark Nall. I'm a reference librarian at Joiner Library. And this video is to show you some of the features of a software we have called SimplyAnalytics. SimplyAnalytics is a data mapping and visualization software that has many data points, especially demographic information, consumer information, health information, that you can both map and put into tables. To get to SimplyAnalytics, you start from the library homepage. There's a link in the center of the page that says Database List. Click there. Once you reach the database list, you can just navigate alphabetically. So I'll choose the S, and then scroll down to SimplyAnalytics. SimplyAnalytics has the option of setting up an account, a personal account, and if you're going to use SimplyAnalytics, I'd strongly encourage you to do that. That way the database itself will keep your data, maintain it for you. It's available to you anytime you want, and it won't be wiped out every time you close the software. However, since this is just a demonstration, I'm just going to sign in as a guest. This is the interface for SimplyAnalytics, and you can see right away there's lots of different kinds of data that you can map and put into charts and tables. You can see there's market information, so the market segments and consumer behavior, information about technology use, finance and banking, retail behaviors, business counts, and the numbers of types of business in an area. And the top, the more general demographic information about race, ethnicity, education, income, etc. I'm going to start by choosing a location. So I'm going to click on this location button, and I'm going to use Pitt County as my example, Pitt County, North Carolina. Once you start typing, it will auto-complete for you, and it works better to stop then and choose from the list. So I will choose Pitt County. So we've chosen Pitt County already there as our location. Now I can start thinking about the data point I want to map. So first of all, I'll show you a map, and then I'll show you how to convert it into a table. The maps can really only contain one data point, the exception being you can also map businesses. So I'm going to choose, for the example, poverty rate. So I'm going to come down and click on poverty. And you can see there's a lot of options. People not in poverty, if that were my interest. People in poverty by race and ethnicity and descent. I'm going to go to the top, though, and I'm just going to use the total percentage of the population in poverty. Now, with just those two steps, I've mapped, for Pitt County, a map based on Pitt County and zip codes where poverty is most concentrated. So you can see over here is the legend. The darkest color is the highest concentration of poverty, so 21% to 100%, which is a pretty wide range, but you can see where those are concentrated. If I wanted to do the same map for a larger area, for a region rather than a county, you can see it's already there, and I can just expand out the map to the geography I want. But for now, we're just going to work on Pitt County. Again, the geographic areas you're seeing here, zip code areas, I can change that if I want to. And if I want to make it make it a little bit more specific, I can choose, for example, census tracts. Or I can make it more broad. I can do states, congressional districts, counties, cities. I'm going to choose census tracts. This will be the smallest geography available. And when I do that, you can see it breaks it down a little bit more. This is the downtown area of Greenville. And so you can see that that's naturally where census tract where the population is most dense. That's where the census tracts are going to be smallest. And with this map, you can see very quickly that for the 25% to 100% concentration of poverty, we have a big concentration in the northern part of the state, and then some other pockets, including the downtown area. I can change, if I go to Legend, I can change the color scheme. Oops, went to the wrong place. If I go to Edit, rather, I can change the color scheme that I want. I can change the number of categories. If I wanted to add more categories, I can change that to 6 if I want to. And you can see it's automatically creating those distinctions for me very quickly. I can also, within the categories, change the percentages that I'm interested in. So if I wanted to change, if my interests were 30%, for example, to 100%. I can just change that to 30. It's going to automatically update the information. So now the darkest colors I'm seeing are, the darkest areas are 30% to 100% poverty rate. I can click here again on Edit, and if I wanted to, I can change the color scheme. So I could change that to purple for ECU, for example. Getting the same information, it just changes the way the data is presented. Once I've done that, when I'm done with that, I'm done, get rid of that. So here's my map. This yellow outline, again, obviously, is the border of Pitt County. And it's broken down now into census tracts showing, again, the darkest color is 30% to 100% poverty rate. Now I can only put one data point in a map with the exception of businesses. So if I wanted to add business counts to the map, I can just click on businesses. I'm going to look for grocery stores. Whoops. So type in grocery. And it'll automatically map where the grocery stores in the county are. If I click on the, so you can see there's 16 related to the downtown area, 19 south of downtown a little bit. If I click on that link, that's giving me a list of them, of the ones that it's referring to, the list of the stores. And then I can also click into the, where there's no number in the circle, that just means it's representing one business. I can click on that to see what that business is as well. So that's an easy way. It's very easy to map this kind of data. SimplyAnalytics has a great deal of data points from the U.S. Census. It has, again, consumer information, health information, retail sales information, a lot of different things you can use. But since you can only map one data point at a time, again, with the exception of business counts, if you wanted to use more information, or rather have more data points in your visualization, you can come over here to comparison reports and change it to a table. So that automatically changes it for me to a table. It's giving me the total percentage of population in poverty for Pitt County is 24% compared to the United States, total United States, which is 15%. Now in this stage, I can keep adding geographies or data points. So I'm going to first add a new geography. I'm going to add Martin County. So there's Martin County, North Carolina. It automatically puts it into the table. I can add other data points. So if I were interested in the relationship between poverty and education, for example, I could go there and say total population that did not complete high school. And as easily as that, I'm adding new data points, new geographies to my table. Once the table is complete, once you have all the information that you want, you can just click on Export, and then you can open that same table in an Excel file. And then with an Excel file, of course, you can manipulate it how you want to, create charts, create tables, etc. So that's SimplyAnalytics. Anytime you have a question about population information by geography, SimplyAnalytics is probably the best tool that we have to get that information. And of course, if you have any questions for us about using it, please never hesitate to contact us. I'm going to go back to the library homepage. We have here Ask a Librarian. This will give you our contact information. You can always just come to the desk if you're on campus, come to the research assistance desk and join our library. Or you can use this to give for other ways to contact us. You can email us, phone, use chat, or you can click on this link here to book a librarian and set up an appointment with one of us. But anytime you have a question, of course, we encourage you to contact us. Thank you, and let us know if you have any questions.